Quick content warning. This content may be upsetting, particularly if you have BPD, borderline personality disorder. But please note that I in no way intend to be offensive, and the content represents real examples based on decades of work as a psychologist specializing in personality disorders. Okay, let's get to it. BPD symptom number 9 is transient, stress-related, paranoid ideation, or severe dissociative symptoms. So let's unpack those terms. Transient, stress-related means that you may experience these symptoms for brief times when you're stressed, overwhelmed, or under duress. Paranoid ideation is a break with reality wherein your thinking is characterized by fear and paranoia. Dissociative symptoms refers to a break with reality in which you feel disconnected from yourself and your surroundings. So basically, when you're under stress or duress with BPD, you may temporarily lose touch with reality in the form of paranoia or one of two types of dissociation, which we'll get to. Now, the difference from a full-blown paranoid or dissociative disorder is generally a matter of duration or length of time. So when these symptoms occur in the context of BPD, they are temporary versus lengthy, consistent, or even continuous, as we see in paranoid and dissociative disorders. Okay, let's dissect paranoia and dissociation further. So I like to describe paranoia as anxiety on steroids. Your brain is on high alert, or what's known as hypervigilant, which means it's constantly scanning the environment for threats. Paranoia is essentially an unfounded, unrealistic distrust of others. Paranoia stems from trust issues, which are most likely brought on by anxiety related to your traumatic experiences. And it can sometimes reach delusional proportions, which some people refer to as BPD psychosis. What's happened is the brain has shifted into hyperdrive to try to prepare for various contingencies that most likely will never happen. Some 90% of what humans fear never actually materializes. But the paranoid brain doesn't process this truth adequately. Instead, it's focused on self-protection based on what's usually irrational thinking about the future. Dissociation is a break in how the brain processes information. It may occur under times of extreme stress as a form of escaping the situation. The brain gets overstimulated and sort of steps away from reality as a coping skill. So you may have memory gaps or forget things that have happened. You may feel detached or numb. You may go into a daydream-like state where you lose track of time and may or may not be aware that time has even passed when you come back to reality. You may feel spaced out or foggy or as though you're outside of your own body. Physically, you may experience lightheadedness or things like heart palpitations, or you might not register pain. Symptoms generally go away on their own. Now, dissociation should not be confused with disassociation. Okay, so dissociation is an involuntary process, whereas disassociation is a conscious separation from someone or detachment from something with which you don't want to be associated. So forms of dissociation include derealization and depersonalization. Both forms of dissociation usually happen in episodes, which means the symptoms come and go. So derealization is a form of detachment from your surroundings that's characterized by feeling as though the world is distorted or not real. Depersonalization is feeling detached from yourself, the sensations and actions of your body or the thoughts and feelings in your mind. So derealization is when things don't feel real, and depersonalization is when you feel detached from your person. Okay, so how does this manifest? What do these things look like? Well, if you're feeling paranoid, you might find that you're judgmental and distrustful of others and their motives. You may be defensive or argumentative. You may struggle to forgive people. You could have strong conspiracy thoughts, or it may be very difficult for you to just chill out and relax. You may fear being taken advantage of or tricked in some way, which results in perceiving hidden meanings in people's words, gestures, body language, and other nonverbal communication, such as even simple eye glances. Now, of course, this is another survival maneuver in that the brain thinks it's protecting itself by holding these views. You might also, in paranoia, experience an irrational or persistent feeling that you're the subject of intrusive attention or even persecution by other people. When things go wrong, you likely feel that others are against you, rather than recognizing that stuff happens sometimes, or reminding yourself that things can't always go your way, or anyone's way for that matter. In general, our brains don't like uncertainty, BPD or not. People with BPD have brains that have most likely been through trauma, and the result is PTSD, which is another manifestation of anxiety in hyperdrive. The antidote for anxiety is control. So your brain, in particular, may prefer things like regimentation, structure, predictability, schedules, organization, those predictable things. So these things generally have to be created by you for you. When they're imposed by someone else, rather than feel safe and structured, you might actually feel controlled or abused. So you need to really have a say in that. Now, with derealization, you may feel as though you're in a dream or a fog, and you may misperceive people and objects around you. Their size or clarity may look wrong or disproportionate, for example. Sounds could be distorted as well, either too soft or too loud. Time may also be distorted. It may feel sped up, slowed down, or as though it's standing still. You realize that your mental state is altered, but you're unable to break out of it at that moment. With depersonalization, you may feel so disconnected that it's as though you're watching a character in a movie. Like what's happening around you is not actually happening to you. It may seem that time has slowed down, like you're moving in slow motion. You may have problems with concentration or memory, or feel as though you're not in control of your own body. You may believe that your body has changed size or shape, or in severe cases, you may not be able to recognize yourself when you look in the mirror. Your vision may even become blurry or otherwise distorted. To others, you may appear different than your usual self. You might look as though you're daydreaming or zoning or spacing out or even ignoring other people. So the quote that goes along with this symptom is, "I'm out of touch." So this is that out of touch with reality piece. Again, the quote I give with each symptom is just to serve as a point of reference for you as you work on creating an awareness of your patterns and building greater mindfulness around them so that you can target them in therapy. All right, small print and some additional information for you. So first of all, I respect that your experience is your own. Please respect that my description is based on my professional experience over the past 20 plus years and is not intended to be the gospel truth. Nothing applies to everyone, okay? And remember, the behaviors I'm describing are not excuses, but explanations to help you and others better understand BPD. And never forget that you can learn to control your behavior. Life can be different. I see it all the time. Follow me for more on mental health in real life, and be sure to share this with someone you think it could help. If you want more information on all things mental health, be sure to subscribe to my free weekly newsletter at drbellingrodt.com. If you want help with the negative automatic thoughts and the self-limiting beliefs that drive your BPD symptoms, some of these things I've been talking about and giving examples of, just check out my online training using the website link in my profile. Talk to you soon.